Hello and welcome to a bonus talk of good game. It's just finished. West Ham U23s 0, Liverpool 2. Me and Gonzo have taken advantage of our Liverpool FC TV subscription to watch the game tonight, and we're here to just have a quick chat about it and some individual performances. Gonzo, before we get into the game, they were bloody good, weren't they, Liverpool? They impressed me tonight.
Okay, that number 10, the guy in the middle for them, I believe they might have signed him from Arsenal. I can't remember his name. Not only was he bloody good and the best player on the pitch by a country mile, he was a grown man, wasn't he? He was like a giant in amongst there, and he looked. Well, I'm probably better than Jordan Henderson, but he looks better than Jordan Henderson. I wouldn't be surprised if he's troubling their first team players at some point this season.
Yeah, there's a few of their players that look bloody good, but anyway, it just took just 12 minutes for Liverpool to take the lead. Good goal by Harry Wilson, cut in from the right. Far corner, decent strike. I think they deserve to be, but at that goal, I thought, bloody hell, some of these boys do have talent in that Liverpool team. That was a bloody good strike.
Yeah, they think quick as well. And he got braced, didn't he? That boy. Yeah, he was one of the three outstanding Liverpool players for me as well. And yeah, they seem to have an awful lot going for them, and because we were listening on Liverpool TV, of course, we were hearing lots about their under-23s and Steven Gerrard's under-18s, and they do seem to have quite a lot of talent. What I would say, though, I just want to put a little bit in perspective, they are playing in the equivalent of the Champions League, like the Youth Champions League, so they've just played Sevilla, beating them 4-0. Also want to just probably counter it by saying that's a bit of a different game for me if we've got Holland, Queener, Oxford, Rice, and maybe a couple of others who I might have forgotten. Cullen in the midfield, where I thought we were completely overrunning the midfield. I think if we have those players playing, then maybe we have a slightly different game on our hands.
Yeah, it was 2-0 in 21st minute. That team move was really, really good. Quick passing, quick. Then the guy that was impressed to me, I don't know if he was number 10, so it might be the same guy as you, Brewster.
No, you're thinking of that quick. You're thinking of really quick geezer.
He was rapid. But that second goal was as good as it goes. You'll see it under 23s level.
Well, they were sharp up there for that. Bang, 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 bang. I think Trott was unsighted for the final shot. Trott, who played well, by the way. Yeah, they were. I think you can probably look at that sort of level, and there's a number of players who are probably quite similar in technique, but maybe what sets them apart on how they're going to mature, how they're going to develop, is how quick they are in their mind. Can they read the game? And I'll tell you what, they were very. It was excellent a technique for that second goal, but it was quickness of thought as well that enabled us to do it. And we were sort of a bit like a bit Scooby Doo there, really.
A few minutes later, though, we did get a pen. Good run by Hector Ingram down the left. Got brought down. Stonewall pen. What did you make of Martinez's pen? I mean, it got saved, but it was powerful.
I didn't think it was the worst penalty in the world. So I think the keeper did very, very well. He didn't miss it. He didn't miss the target. It was powerful. It was down low. It was on target. The keeper saved it. I always do like to differentiate between the two. It wasn't a P-roll. He didn't try a silly chip or anything. He went for it. The keeper saved really well. The keeper would be pleased with that. It's
one of them that if the keeper went the other way, everyone would say, oh, what a brilliant pen. Sends keeper the wrong way, blasts it into the bottom corner. He has missed a few, though, for the 23s, Martinez. Let's talk about him. First of all, Martinez's whole game. What did you make of it?
Well, like I said about their number 10, Liverpool's number 10 is a man. I think Martinez is a man as well. You look at some of the guys, you look at young Kemp there, and even my daughter said, oh, how old's he? He's a young boy. You can see he's a young boy. He's yet to develop. I think Martinez is developed. I think he needs to be scoring now. I think he needs to be doing more than he's currently doing. I almost think he's the nurturing point has gone. I would expect him, even though we've been promoted, to go up there and start dominating that. And I think he was slightly starved of service, but I'd be lying if I said I was particularly impressed with him this evening.
I thought he was quite poor. Like you say, he didn't get loads of service, but when he did get the scraps, he didn't really make enough of it. And there was one point at the end there, someone had done all the hard work and given it to him, and his pass was sloppy. And I thought, can you sort of, going by that performance, can you half see why he's maybe not in the squad for tomorrow night to face Bolton?
Well, I absolutely can. I think he lacks anything outstanding. funny enough, we're having this. My son's just joined a football club at the moment, as you know, and I'm trying to get him. I've said at least try and be outstanding at one thing. So we were out there, we're doing little drills, we're practicing his passing all the time, left, right foot, just practicing passing. And funny enough, he's been moved into midfield now because he is passing the ball well. And I just think that's really important. If you're not blessed with all these technical gifts that you're brilliant at everything, make yourself really, really good at one thing, then build from there. I don't think he's particularly strong. I don't think he's particularly good in the air. He's not particularly quick. As you said, his passing is not brilliant. I just, maybe his finishing is excellent, but unfortunately we're in an era where everyone's playing one striker up front, and you're not, as we've seen with Hernandez at the main team, you're not really, if you are a poacher, you're waiting for the chances to go along, and there's not really that position exists anymore where you can hang around in the 6-yard box and knock it in, which is maybe what he's good at. So I think in terms of experienced players, he might struggle to threaten. I was watching it at one point today, and I was thinking, as good as some of these youngsters are, you could probably take someone like Andre Ayew, who can't at the moment start for us, put him in that match, and he'd probably look like a world beater. And that's probably the difference in standard, and that's what the youngsters are, the gap they're looking to bridge. And I don't think Martinez can probably bridge that gap at the moment.
I think he does. I think he is strong. I think he does look strong. I'm not sure he uses it as well as some stronger players in the Premier League use their strength in terms of barging people out of their way. He just looks a bit, it's a bit like pre-season. There's just something, you're waiting for him to do something. You're like, well, go on then, take a chance. But he just doesn't seem to move. He's like stuck in third gear all the time for some reason. Get going, come on, shoot. Want him to do well. But, I mean, one thing I will say, me and Gonzo aren't under 23 experts. Watch the highlights on the official site and see bits and pieces, but that's it. We're just going by this one game. Half time, it was 2-0. Top save by Nathan Short just after half time to deny Harry Wilson a hat trick. It looked like it was going into that far corner, but he somehow got his hand to it. Moses McCasey missed a decent enough chance in the 70th minute. Now, he was a captain tonight, included in the first team in pre-season. Gonzo, what did you make of him? I
thought at the start, and we were better. I should probably point out we were better in the first half than we were in the second. For anyone that didn't watch the game, I thought we saw him a little bit too much on the left in the first half, but maybe he was covering for, I think the left back was called Johnson, who was a bit hit and miss, did some really good things, but then made some errors as well. McCasey is a big boy as well, and you can see the technique is there, you can see there's a player there, but again, I think he probably does need to push on to that next level when he moved more central, he sort of started taking up more central positions. It was hard because we were overrun, and he was up against, at that point, the best player on the pitch, who I've already spoken about. I don't know what he is. I don't know what he's going to do. But again, I think he probably needs to try and nail down a position and push on from there. But he's got some technical attributes and he's got physical attributes. So I think maybe his game awareness, he just needs to work on it and just imposing himself on the game. He's got the talent to do something.
Yeah, I would agree with that, actually. I thought sometimes tonight, at one point in the first half, he almost gave the left back a booking. His pass was really short, and then that Harry Wilson nicked it, and the left back had to bring him down and stuff. And I just thought sometimes he was sloppy, but other times he was bouncing off players. You know, he was big. He is a defensive midfielder by trade, and I think that's why he was quite harshly done by in pre-season, because Bullitt sort of had 10 players in the team. One space left, there was a winger position. McCasey was the only player left. I was like, well, you're just going to have to go there, I'm afraid. So it was good to see him in there tonight, but he's missing Quina next to him, so I think that might throw him a little bit. When you're missing your sort of right-hand man, you sort of struggle. But the guy next to him tonight, I thought was fantastic. We'll come on to him at the end. Just at the end, the 91st minute, what a save by Nathan. He made a few good saves throughout the game and kept it respectable. But that save at the end was a worldie.
Well, he's got the same frame as David De Gea. He's not 6'7" or anything silly. He's obviously not a small lad, but he's quite skinny and he's quite agile, and he's got some very, very good reflexes. I'm not going to claim to know anything about goalkeeping. I couldn't tell what goalkeeper what positions to take up or anything like that. far post, back post, what they're meant to be covering, I don't know. But I do know a good reflex save when I see one, and we saw 3 of them tonight. And you're right, that last one, it was high. And, I mean, he really showed a lot of agility. And you've got to look at his frame and think he's not going to lose that agility. So all that other stuff as a keeper, you learn. If you've got the reflexes, you've got the handling skills, which he has to. And he also did a really good kick out at one point. So his distribution looks okay as well. If he adds to his game experience, then fingers crossed. Maybe there's a player there, but he did look decent.
Yeah, Nathan Chot was fantastic tonight. Some of his saves were just that one at the end. What impressed me most is his reflexes. He was going across the goal and had to go back on the way he was coming. And at 2-0 down in the 92nd minute or something, you'd excuse him for just standing still and letting it go in. Most keepers would, but he threw him. What a save that was. But it finished 2-0, as you might know. But quite a one-sided game. We've already spoken how good Liverpool are. But let's talk about 2 or 3 other West Ham players individually. Martin Samuelson. He arrived on the scene with a blast. He had throat surgery in the summer, hence why he wasn't in pre-season or anything like that. But started tonight. What did you make of him?
It's harsh because I saw him. I saw him. He played at Boleyn. I remember seeing him there in some pre-season. I think before he even joined Peterborough, he played in a friendly against Peterborough. He looked good. He looked like he was going to be the next big thing. And his first season alone at Peterborough was decent, and then he sort of petered out the last one. I just wonder if he's going to be one of those players that fades away and doesn't quite make it. We used to have a guy called Kyle Reid. Some of you may remember him. Promised big things, just never really happened for him. And some players are just really good at youth level, and they don't make the transition, which is strange because he's a big, tall lad, but he should be bossing a game like that now. He's got experience. He has played first-team football, albeit in the lower leagues. He's played for his national team as well, and he's had a couple of pre-seasons with the first-team squad and trained with the first-team squad. If he's not dominating that now, you have to question whether he's going to dominate anything. Of course, he was hauled off at half-time.
I've been a bit wary of him for a little bit now. I think when you were talking earlier about reading the game about Liverpool players, where I just wonder if that's where he struggles. Where he should be taking 2 touches, he seems to want to take 3 or 4. And I don't know if it's because he's greedy and he just likes that extra touch, he likes the skill, or if he's just not as quick at reading the game as some other players. I don't know, but he was probably the most disappointing player for me tonight. You know, you were looking at him thinking, when you've got such a young team out, we had a really young back 4 tonight as well, and because a lot of the players are going for in the squad tomorrow night. This is where Samuelson sort of has to step up a little bit and think, well, I'll take the responsibility, give me the ball, let me do the work. And didn't see it tonight. Disappointing. We'll have to keep an eye on him. The only other player I want to talk about, and this guy has been I've been wanting to see this guy for a while in the first
Before you do, Geo, because I know you're going to talk about, and I know you do, I just want to mention one player first because I don't want to steal your player's thunder, okay? I just want to mention it because, you know, we've seen things, we don't get to watch these players. Josh Pasque, number 5.
Yeah.
All right. There's a player in there, and I've seen it. There's a player. He's comfortable on the ball. You can see that. You can see he can read the game, and there is a player there. I can see it, but I don't know if they, you know, someone has to tell him he needs to change his boots. He really, whatever boots he's got, he needs to change. He was breaking out from the back. He was controlling the ball, but he slipped over 4 or 5 times, and it's quite costly. So I actually like the look of him. I really did like the look of him, and I'd like to see a bit more of him in a more settled team. So sorry, I just got to say that just in case we finish on your guy, who I know is.
Well, who do you think it is?
Marcus Browne.
Yeah. It's Marcus Browne. I mean, he had an injury. He's just come back, but they gave him a new deal in January anyway. Despite him being injured, the club have backed him and said, I thought tonight, he didn't quite show it the whole game, but his set pieces were just like his set pieces were on point, one after another. Corners, free kicks from 30 yards, 40 yards, right, left, doesn't matter. Whap, every single time they were hitting where he wanted to hit. His corners were perfect. He's got serious talent, that kid, I think. And he's well built. You can tell while he's been injured, he's also been working on him because he's really, really well built as well. He excites me, Marcus Browne. I really hope he makes it. If it's not West Ham, wherever he goes, I'm going to keep an eye out for him. But like we all do with Freddie Sears and the likes, we keep an eye out for him. And I'll do that. Did you think he played well tonight, or is it just me? I thought he was coming and going, but I thought when he was on the ball, he just moves differently to what an under-23 player usually does with the ball. He looked like he belonged in the Liverpool team we saw tonight.
Yeah, he was decent. He was very good. He certainly was alongside Nathan Trott, was our best player. Your deliveries were right. There was one point I looked at, in American football, when they get a kick, they bring the kicker on just to do that. I was sort of thinking, I wonder if we could, set plays at the weekend, take Crespo off and just bring him on, just to take the kick and sort of do that. He was very good. He's got a low centre of gravity, which we always like. He's quick as well, and he's got an eye for the ball, and he was our number 10 today, and he played as our number 10, where I think he probably suffered were the guys just in front of him and just behind him. So Hector Ingram won the penalty, but he wasn't as involved as much as I would have liked. He could have made some runs to allow Browne to have some more Toronto, and the same would be said of Martinez. We also missed somebody, a deep lying playmaker, to feed him the ball because we didn't have control of that midfield area that I spoke of earlier. That being said, so I thought he was in a straitjacket, really. He did look very, very good, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. And like you said, Queener would have been nice. McCassie would appreciate Queener. I'm quite sure DeMarcus Browne would have appreciated Queener, and Holland, Carlin, whatever, and some decent centre-backs in the team, so we could have had a go at him.
He's got a bit of arrogance. I like that. He's got a little bit of confidence and swagger about him. When he gets the ball, he's sort of, I don't know, it's almost like what we're missing in first team right now. Someone with the balls to play that pass. It might not work, but we'll play it. I just feel that Browne's got that sort of arrogance about him. So I'm going to try this. Because remember when he tried to take a quick free kick from the halfway line and beat the keeper, it got called back in that, and he didn't score that. He missed it, but he had that confidence and arrogance to go, I'm going to try this. Ball down, whack, 50 yards out. Let's try and see if I can score. I like that. And Dan Kemp, I like him as well. He wasn't involved tonight as well. He's a really young lad, like you said, really skinny, but he's balling at the under 23s right now. I think he's probably the sort of the next Declan Rice, if you like, I think. But one to watch. But Gonzo, what's your overall thoughts, and who was your man of match? And we sort of picked out two there, but who would you give it to, and what's your overall thoughts of tonight's game?
I'll probably give it to Trott, because I think it could have been more without him. I think it was nice to watch. I've got to say, there's a freshness about the under 23s. He's not caught up with the politics of the first team and owners and signings. That doesn't exist in the under 23s, and it's nice to watch these young players. And I think Terry Wesley would have liked to have faced that Liverpool team, who are the best team in the league, it seems. Would have liked to have faced that Liverpool team with some more of his players. But I also think that the under 23s are there for a reason. I think Terry Wesley was probably going to be pleased to see some of his players going up and represent the first team, because I'm quite sure he would have been very, very frustrated. And it's a very frustrating thing if you are a manager of a youth team and a younger team, and you're doing all this good work developing and nurturing players, and they don't get a chance. So he'll be proud, he'll be pleased, and I'm pretty sure he'll be hoping to see a couple of the guys in the team, and if they're not in the starting 11, to be on the bench and coming on tomorrow. So I think it was a good exercise, and I think there's more to come. I think we'll do well, and I think the under 23s will benefit from the promotion.
I just find it frustrating West Ham don't do this. I really find it frustrating that this isn't what we see sort of every game West Ham play. We have to rely on Liverpool doing it, because it is good to watch. Like you said, about the politics and that. It's also the team selection. Like, let's be realistic here. How are me or you to know Terry West has got the 11 right or wrong when we see the lineup? We obviously look at it and go, oh, yeah, it's good to see them players play, but we don't know if he's right or wrong or that. And if he is wrong, there's no pressure. You can enjoy it, stress-free, watch it, and just see what happens. But Liverpool were fantastic tonight. Better team, outclassed us. But then it's our players. They worked hard. They kept going. There's some shines of ability in that team for sure. Anyway, I'll agree with Nathan Trott, by the way, for man of match. I thought he was brilliant. Stopped it being a hiding, if you like, but he was superb. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, it's a little bit different. It's a bonus talking good game, but if you enjoyed it, drop a like on it. Comment below if you watched it, what you thought. Quite a lot of you were at the game, actually. It was quite well attended, so if you were there, let us know what you thought as well. You might have a different perspective to us watching it on our subscription at Liverpool SCTV. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow night, Tuesday, with our review of the Bolton game. Thank you for joining us.